Coming up on News Live at 6, students learn about the neurovirus and how it is affecting SU's campus.
Plus, Governor Kathy Hochul announces a new ban on smartphone usage in schools, what it means for students ahead.
And a new esports center opened at the Shine Student Center. What the technology means for professional and amateur gamers alike. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Over the past 2 weeks, norovirus has been spreading all around SU's campus. Hello and welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Cora Mayer-Costa.
And I'm Isabella Galan. Our reporter Sophia DeStasso is outside of Flint Hall, the dorm where the virus first started spreading, to give us the latest updates. Sophia?
Thanks, Isabella. I am here outside of Flint Hall, where the spread of neurovirus started across campus. SU has been very affected by this, and students are afraid of catching this virus.
That it's around. My roommate is in a sorority, and she said with Rush this past weekend that it was spreading a lot, which is crazy.
Students are trying many ways to help prevent themselves from this virus.
I take my vitamins and I wash my hands, and I don't like to share cups and such with people.
I've just been doing the usual, like washing my hands and stuff. I'm a public health major, and so we talk about disease prevention a lot. So I've been trying to do that, and I know that neurovirus specifically like spreads through like fecal matter and stuff. So after I go to the bathroom, I make sure to wash my hands extra well.
Many are concerned how the neurovirus is impacting individuals around campus.
Especially with the cold, like it's already hard to fight getting sick, so to have something spreading right now is just like kind of annoying.
I feel like in the closer to New York City we get, like I know that diseases and illnesses spread faster because of the population, so I mean definitely being at school it's more likely than back home.
I am scared of getting it because I know it like takes you out for a full week. And I don't want to spread it to any of my friends. So yeah, I am scared.
As the outbreak of neurovirus continues, we need to be doing everything we can to stop the spread. For CitrusTV News, I'm Sophia DeStasso. Back to you guys in studio.
Thank you, Sophia. SU saw the opening of a new esports gaming center this semester. Our Benjamin Lefkowitz takes us inside.
On January 18th, Syracuse University got a brand new addition to its campus. Here at Shine Student Center, the new esports center has been a thrill among SU students. Regardless of if you're on the varsity team or club team, or even just want to come in here and play, students can use the 36 PCs here behind me, 6 consoles, virtual reality stations, board games, traditional arcade games, and even a driving simulator. Students who may not have a gaming device in their dorms, the new esports center is a perfect opportunity and resource for them.
I like to play. I don't have a good gaming computer at my dorm, so I like to come here and play games such as Team Fortress 2 and other Steam games. Overall, I just like to have a fun time here after my classes. Just a nice way to just relax and play some games.
Executive Director of Esports here at Syracuse University, Joey Gariziak, is impressed with the general reception of the opening of the new esports center.
The reception has been absolutely incredible. We're getting such great feedback from students, from faculty, from staff, but also the wider community, both kind of in the area, but also nationally, saying, great job on the space. It kind of sets a new standard, sets that bar for what a facility on campus can do.
The esports center is going to continue to grow in the future, and it's even a major here at the Falk School. Reporting live from the new esports center, Benjamin Lefkowitz, CitrusTV News.
Thank you, Benjamin, for your coverage. Happening right now in the Hergenhan Auditorium, Newhouse is holding a joint panel with CBS News on spotting misinformation and disinformation. A panel featuring White House senior correspondent Weijia Zhang, correspondent Scott McFarlane, reporter Ali Bowman, and executive producer Rona Tarrant began at 5:30. A reception following the panel will take place at 6:30.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul plans to follow in the steps of other states and ban smartphones in New York schools. Our Lucy Schaefer has the latest on the move.
Phones, as we know, travel with us everywhere, and they now have taken over the classrooms. So Governor Kathy Hochul announced Tuesday she is implementing a new rule for the New York schools to help potentially solve this issue.
Governor Kathy Hochul revealed details on part of her FY 2026 executive budget proposal to ban smartphone usage in schools. This will stop the usage of smartphones on school grounds for grades K through 12 for the entire school day, including lunch and study hall periods.
And for their developmental and emotional well-being, it is so much more positive for them to have human connections and make friends that otherwise would not be their friends because their only friends live in a virtual world.
Hochul plans to follow along in the footsteps of other states who have already made this decision and have implemented their own ways of restricting smartphone usage. One of these states includes Ohio.
I also believe that we've seen huge benefits in the classroom. I've had some classroom teachers tell me this is the most they feel like they've been able to teach in their entire careers because the kid is much more engaged in what's going on in the classroom.
To ensure safety and to have communication between parents, Hochul is allowing simple cell phones. These are phones without internet capability and limited features, but will have access to call. Schools will be using sanctioned laptops and tablets for lesson plans. Hochul also proposed to set aside $13.5 million to aid classroom storage solutions. This is all to move schools to a distraction-free environment.
This new requirement will be put into place starting the 2025-2026 school year and applies to all public school districts, charter schools, and Board of Cooperative Educational Surveys. Reporting for Citrus TV, I'm Lucy Schaefer. Isabella and Cora, back to you.
Thank you, Lucy. The FBI is now leading an active investigation of a breach in the Syracuse Police Department's computer system. Their systems are now fully operational, but SPD has been recovering lost data from hackers. Chief Joseph Cecile says the department does not know if crucial data like social security numbers, police files, and finances or body camera footage were obtained by the hack.
Now, Cora, excuse me, I think it's starting to get a lot colder here in Syracuse, but today we got to see the sun for the first time in a few days.
It's that big temperature change that's making your voice a little rusty, Bella.
I know, a little
here.
rusty today.
But it's been a little bit on and off. Our Spencer Congel is here to tell us, will that continue, Spencer?
Well, Cora, you're right. Today was there was a little bit of sun out, which was very nice to see that, though it was still pretty windy and cold. Right now it's about 28 degrees and it feels a little bit cooler, 25, not too much cooler. It's not too windy right now and mostly cloudy. That sun, unfortunately, has gone away for the rest of the evening. And now as we move into tonight, the temperature is actually going to go up a little bit. We're not going to be seeing any of that snow that you see behind me. We're actually going to go up to around the mid 30 degree temperatures, so some of that snow might start to melt overnight. However, the wind chill is going to be a little bit more extreme overnight than it is now. We're going to see the wind chill stay in kind of the low to mid 20 degree range. So it is still going to be chilly out there overnight. I'll have more on the weather for the rest of the week in a little bit. Bella?
Thank you, Spencer. New details on the proposed Onondaga Hotel in downtown Syracuse. Instead of checking in on the first floor, guests will take an elevator to the top floor of the 9-story building to the main lobby. This unusual design allows guests to get a view of the Syracuse city skyline through the tall glass walls. The top floor will also feature a 10,000 square foot ballroom and meeting space, as well as a restaurant that features a rooftop bar during the warmer months.
Governor Kathy Hochul and Senator Chuck Schumer announced the opening of a children's specialty hospital. It's the first of its kind in New York. The center is designed to help children and teens with disability through specialized short-term inpatient care. Senator Schumer helped secure the funding for the center, including a $48 million loan from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, alongside a $4 million investment for the Empire State Development.
Nationwide tax specialist group Foss & Co. is helping finance the Syracuse Public Safety Complex Rehabilitation Project. The complex will serve as the headquarters for both the Syracuse Fire and Police Departments. The space will host a mix of administrative offices, training areas, and public engagement spaces. The project is set to be completed in early 2026. And coming up on News Live at 6, the latest details on a deadly plane crash over the Potomac River, what officials are saying, and recovery efforts.
Plus, new details on the hostages being released from Gaza, the conditions of the Israeli agreement, and those released. Stay with us.
Dad? Just 1 minute, okay? Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome to my house. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The walls were closing in. Clearly a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It could help you find a little more breathing room.
Got a quarter?
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. New details are emerging on last night's deadly plane crash over the Potomac River, where an American Airlines plane collided with a military helicopter. And just a warning, as the video you are about to see may be graphic to some.
The crash took place near the Reagan National Airport. After the crash, the plane and its 64 passengers dove into the Potomac River outside of Washington, D.C. In a press conference earlier today, President Donald Trump said there are no survivors.
The National Transportation Safety Board will launch an investigation after the recovery mission is over. The NTSB hopes to have a preliminary report in 30 days. Among the 6 passengers were members of the Boston Skating Club.
According to CNN, one air traffic control worker was working 2 positions at the time of the crash. Though this is common, the New York Times preliminary FAA internal report says staffing was, quote, not normal for that time of day and volume of traffic.
Today, several of President Donald Trump's cabinet picks are testifying before the Senate. These picks include Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, Tulsi Gabbard for the Director of National Intelligence, and Kash Patel for the FBI Director.
This follows the confirmation of 7 of Trump's other cabinet picks earlier this week. Today's hearing marks the first round of Trump's nominees being questioned by Senate committees.
8 hostages were released today from Gaza. Video footage of their release shows the hostages being escorted through large crowds of people.
In response to the chaotic handoff, Israeli authorities warned to delay the release of Palestinian captives. However, today they went through with the release of 110 prisoners. So far, 2 rounds of releases have taken place. According to the Israeli government, 8 of the remaining Israeli hostages who were set to be released are dead.
And coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have your full 5-day forecast and a look at what kind of temperatures we can be expecting this February. That's
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I've got your temperatures and your weather for the week here. Starting with tomorrow, we are going to be expecting a little bit of rain. We're going to see a high of 39 throughout the day, so there's a 90% chance of rain in the morning. And as the temperatures drop off as we get into the afternoon, that might turn into a little bit of snow or freezing rain. And then Saturday, it's going to be cold, but we might see a little bit of sun. And then some various chances of snow and rain throughout the rest of the week, staying around those 30-degree temperatures throughout the rest of the week. Now, as we look into February, there's a lot of things that can happen. I've got the temperatures here for last February, and as you can see, the range is kind of outrageous. Welcome to Syracuse, New York. We had a high of 70 degrees last February and a low of 8 degrees, which is abnormally warm. Usually we're not seeing those kind of temperatures in February. And based on the weather this year so far, we've had a lot colder temperatures and a lot more snow. So we're not really expecting days quite as warm as 70 degrees, though since we are in Syracuse, I would expect some kind of warm days. As you saw next week, we are expecting one day at around 45 high temperatures. So a couple days in the 50s is not necessarily out of the question, but 70 degrees I think is probably not likely this February. At least let's hope not, and stay away from all that slush and mud. That's all I've got for weather for now. Cora and Isabella.
You know, Spencer, weather has become a place where it's as unpredictable as our sports team here. And speaking of, as Syracuse is preparing to take on the rival Duke in the Dome on Wednesday, many SU fans are concerned with a lack of attendance.
Our Colleen Nakuda spoke with students on why they think the Orange are down in wins and fans.
Lucky number 7 or unlucky for SU men's basketball as they travel through the Golden State on 3-game losing streak. I spoke with students on what's keeping them from making it to the Dome come game day.
In the past, Syracuse has been notorious for its basketball team, drawing in large crowds and tons of school spirit. That is until this year. The team has had a 9-11 losing record, and students like Alex are beginning to feel the effects.
I think that it has been a great disappointment so far this year.
Many feel the energy level is not the same anymore, and others just can't make it work for these weekday games.
I know especially like a lot of my friends, like we're just super busy too, and like it's always great if we get an opportunity to go, but like everyone's got like exams, and like with the start of the new semester, it's getting a little hectic, so.
While this year's football season showed Otto's Army at full effect, upping the morale, filling the stands, and storming the field, the basketball games have had a significant drop in attendance, and I wondered if fans had noticed.
Oh yeah, I checked the attendance after every game, and there hasn't been more than 21,000 fans at a game yet this year. But the one game where the student section did the Whiteout Blizzard was a game that we played well in and came back and won. So clearly the players played better with fans.
The last time that Syracuse faced off against Duke at home in 2022, the student section had a record attendance with over 8,000 students and 30,000 fans total. As the anticipation continues to grow for next Wednesday's home game against the Blue Devils, we will have to see if the Sea of Orange can pull through. Reporting from Syracuse, Colleen Nakuda, CitrusTV.
Our Ryan Bridges joins me to tell us more on this game and their matchup against Cal on Saturday. But for now, reporting in studio for CitrusTV, I'm Colleen Nakuda. Ryan?
We'll have the highlights of Syracuse's game against Stanford coming right up.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Welcome
to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Last night, Syracuse men's basketball played its first game in the Pacific time zone since 2013. And the way the Orange started the game, they might have well as been asleep getting off the plane. Welcome into sports. I'm Ryan Bridges. SU matched up with Stanford for the second time ever last night. Let's head out to Palo Alto, California for this ACC matchup. It's a little weird still playing ACC games all the way out in California, but something you're going to have to get used to as a Syracuse fan as Cal, Stanford, SMU all get added to the ACC. Let's see how this one went down inside Maples Pavilion. Early on, though, it doesn't go very well for the Orange. Maxime Renaud knocks down this three. The 7-footer can certainly shoot it. He buries that one. Look at the score at the bottom of your screen. That's 14-0 already. Stanford is ahead. Oziah Sellers breaks away. He gets the foul on Chris Bell and scores the bucket. 17-0 the scoreline, but 8 minutes into the game, Syracuse finally gets its first points. Kyle Cuff on the banker right there. Now look at the bottom. It's 22-2. We'll speed through this one real quick so you have to watch Syracuse's bad defense. They give up another three, and Ryan Argowal from the left wing. But then the Orange started to cut into it, a 22-8 run to close out the half. The lead now down to single digits for Stanford. J.J. Sterling had a pretty bad game, but he still banks in that shot. It's down to 6, but another bucket right here for Benny Gieler. He was excellent in this one. Syracuse goes on to fall by 9 points to Stanford, but they have a chance to avenge the road trip coming up against Cal. That game Saturday at 10 o'clock. I don't know what you would be doing Saturday at 10 o'clock, but you know, if you want to watch Syracuse men's basketball in the middle of the night, you can certainly do so. They're going to try to avenge that loss to Stanford and try to get back and try to salvage this road trip a little bit, because as we already said, the next game coming up back in the JMA Wireless Dome is against Duke, and that one's going to be tough, an undefeated Duke team coming in to the ACC. But if you're looking for a great team inside the JMA Wireless Dome, look no further than Syracuse men's lacrosse, who begins its season on Saturday against Jacksonville. SU was ranked second in the preseason media poll, so expectations are pretty high for the Orange to make it to championship weekend, the men's lacrosse Final Four, which they fell one game short of last year. Head coach Gary Gates says they're using that last year as motivation for this season.
I said we just focus on execution and showing up that day and playing our best lacrosse, and taking all the past experiences and using that to make sure that we come out better this year than we were in the past.
Syracuse going to try to use that loss to Denver that they had in the NCAA quarterfinals and get revenge and get back to championship weekend, where they haven't been in a very long time. Syracuse is the most national championships of any program, and now being ranked number 2, they're finally starting to come back to that type of superiority we were more accustomed to see back in the day. They do have Jacksonville coming up, and then a few more non-conference opponents before they get into the big stuff. And then the Knicks, moving on to later last night, they picked up their 5th straight win over the Denver Nuggets, and Jalen Brunson was excellent with 30 points and 15 assists. Guys?
Awesome. Yeah, I know we were talking about lacrosse a little bit earlier. What do you think we should be on the lookout for Syracuse this year?
They came in with one of the best prospects in the entire country in Joey Spallina. He's really the star of the team, but their attackers alongside Owen Hiltz as well. And then Trey Deer is supposed to play a much bigger role this year. So they have one of the best offenses in the country. So it should be a lot of goals inside the Dome on Saturday.
Ryan, thank you so much. Definitely going to be an interesting game to see. When we come back, your wake-up weather.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. This video behind me is not what you're going to be expecting tomorrow morning. When you wake up, it's going to be in the mid 30-degree temperatures, and we are going to see some rain tomorrow. So if you're not expecting snow, expect a little bit of rain in the morning. Maybe it will turn into snow, maybe a little bit of freezing rain later in the day, but definitely not quite like it was then. That's a video from yesterday. It was very windy and snowy.
I mean, Spencer, at Syracuse, we're all sort of expecting a little bit of snow. When
True.
It's not snowing, it's raining, either one of the two. Well, now imagine buying from one of the most famous artists of all time for less than a used iPhone. Well, a new report says a painting bought for $50 from a Minnesota garage sale is actually long lost work by Vincent van Gogh. Now, if the report is authenticated, the painting would be worth an estimated $15 million.
That is some crazy luck that I wish I had.
I mean,
Me too.
Listen, what is your best thrift finds? Because those are always amazing. You're finding stuff
Most of the
for
time,
cheap.
it's a lot of tacky stuff. So you know, it's kind of a needle in the haystack situation.
It's a hit or a miss. You know, do you guys have a specific item of clothing or anything you find that you just use every day now?
I mean, I feel like my go-to, if I'm going to the thrift store, it's usually to find like a Christmas sweater, like an ugly Christmas sweater.
Something
like,
niche.
Right, yeah, like that. And I don't use, like when I get those, I don't use them all the time, but during the holiday season, like that's a go-to.
They come in handy. I remember I went to the thrift store once with one of my friends and I got the cutest pair of black heels that I wear all of the time now. I was looking for just a plain black pump, and I found them at the thrift store for $5. So that was probably my best.
$5 for a pump? That's really good. That's a steal. Ryan?
Hats are very overpriced nowadays. So if you find a good hat at the thrift store, they're usually not as bad as they seem. You know, when you see them on the rack, you might be like, okay, but then it fits with a cool outfit, and you're like, all right, that's a little bit better.
Now, Ryan, do you notice any specific baseball team that's selling for more money than the others?
I think the Braves, the Yankees hat is iconic. I mean,
Come
you can
on.
put that in any color.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, maybe with the World Series, but there's a few.
Yeah, exactly. I will say I do have a bunch of random Yankee hats. Just
Yeah,
that I
I
like
have
to
a
put
Yankee
on.
t-shirt I also thrifted. It probably has the last name of a random family on the back, but like, you know what? It's a great shirt. I love to use it.
It's perfect. I mean, who knows? These are hidden gems, guys. It could be
True.
worth a lot of money in the future.
Go to a garage sale, go to a thrift store.
Just
you never know what you'll find.
you know, vinyls are nowadays.
True.
It's crazy now. Well, thank you guys. That's all the time for Citrus TV News Live at 6 this Thursday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Cora Mayer-Costa. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow, Syracuse.